Okay. Hello, software architecture lovers. Today we are delighted to have Sonya Natanzon with us, one of key GSAS 23 speakers. Sonya, could you introduce yourself and tell us more about your software architecture journey, please?
Hi, my name is Sonya Natanzon. I am a software architect of a number of years now, and many of those I've spent in healthcare. My software architecture journey is actually, it became intentional after a while. I realized that as I'm building bigger and bigger systems, there are different skills that I need to have in order to effectively build them. It's not just coding skills, it's not just knowing technology, but it's also understanding boundaries, understanding connections, understanding coupling and cohesion, understanding dependencies, making good decisions about them, and really a lot of it is communication and being able to influence others to either accept your decisions or take in good input and adjust as you go along. So a lot of the skills balance needed to shift towards what we're calling soft skills, but they're actually hard. They're not soft skills. So that's been my journey over time. I've taken I actually, my first formal introduction to it was a 1-day course uh, many years ago from a very interesting instructor. And I thought, I don't agree with everything, but I know now what I have to learn. And I've tried very intentionally to expose myself to any software architecture community before they even called themselves software architecture communities. Right now, I make a point to join a lot of the community of practice meetings, just like Global Software Architecture Summit, and I really enjoy talking to everybody there.
And how it all started. So, why did you actually decide to take this path, becoming software architect?
I think the reason why, and I'm trying to remember back then, part of it was because there was a project that I was working on that I felt I needed additional skilling up for. But really, I had this thought in the back of my head that there's got to be something more than just knowing technology in order to make good decisions about what we're doing with our software and how we're evolving it. And I thought, this maybe is not exactly right, but I am going to try it out. And honestly, that became one of the key insights for me is don't always follow the path and the job that's just within your job description. Branch out, look and listen to something different. You never know what kind of useful insights you're going to glean. So I very intentionally go and listen to things that I don't think are applicable to see if I do find something applicable for myself.
Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing. Okay, and so what can you say about Global Software Architecture Summit this year? How do you find lineup of speakers as well as their talks and workshops? Does it look interesting for you? I know that you know many of them. Actually, I would say most of them. How does it feel like to get reunited in Barcelona with your peers again? And yeah.
First of all, yes, I do know many of them, and by the way, that is the one of the reasons why I'm really, really looking forward to being there and listening to them again, because I've been floored, impressed by the just everything that these people have to offer. Their key insights have been amazing, and I really do follow these people, these names, and listen to what they have to say. Recommend you do the same. so I'm excited to see some of them. I haven't seen actually for many years. Some I saw last year, but I'm excited to reunite with them, to hear everything new that they have to offer, and to actually really converse. I get a lot of value out of just talks outside of the more formal presentations and workshops, and learn what they've learned. It's always, it's one of the most enjoyable parts for me to know that we're experiencing the same problems and learn new ways of solving them, or new heuristics, new approaches, anything new that we can apply to the world of software engineering. I do recommend attending workshops if you can. I always try to go to at least one workshop that looks interesting to me, or maybe something really outside of my field of expertise. And yeah, talk to the speakers. They like hearing from everybody.
Thank you for encouraging this. Actually, this year we will have two parallel workshops by Jack and by Diana, and both of them actually base their workshops on the books that they are currently writing, and both of them will be released very soon. Well, just like several weeks before the summit. So I guess GSAS attendees, well, speakers, will be the first ones who will have a chance to actually get access to it. And if we have enough luck and Aurelie will send us first copies, we can get these copies signed by them and be the first ones who will get them.
That's awesome.
Super
I'm
excited.
I'm always super impressed by anybody who ventures out to write a book. It is probably the hardest thing anybody can do. It takes so much work.
Oh,
So kudos
yes.
to them, and I'm excited to get those first signed copies. It should be amazing. Both Jackie and Diana are they're stars in their fields.
Sonia, and you, are you thinking about writing a book or a
Oh gosh,
chapter?
no. Oh, yeah, I've had people ask me that, and many moons ago, I collaborated on a chapter of a book, not a whole book, but a chapter of a book. Those of you who might remember Rocks Press, this was a publishing house that published technical books. And just working on a chapter of that book, I realized how much work it is. And I decided, no, it's going to be too hard.
Well, let's talk after this edition, because if this edition goes well, one of our ideas is to actually write a book, taking in mind the focus of this edition, so that speakers could. Each speaker would just write a chapter, and like this, it wouldn't require that much time, that much effort. But as all speakers have that valuable experience, it would be just awesome to launch a book like with different case studies from different backgrounds, different countries, so that each reader could find a chapter that would that he or she could feel related to, that could help him or her in this software architecture journey and work. So
That sounds
uh,
exciting.
don't say no yet. Maybe you will feel inspired after GSAS. Okay, so let's continue with our questions. So, what are the key software architecture insights you could share with GSAS attendees?
Hmm. I think the biggest one, my North Star that I've been using, is be pragmatic. We have a lot of trends in the industry that come and go, and all of them have their place under the sun, and they're useful uh, in specific situations. Don't just pick one because you know it and like it and use it for everything. Be pragmatic about what's useful. Companies in early stage may not have um, skills or resources to put in a fully distributed microservice architecture. Something else works better for them. So use the tools that you have. Don't just pick one that you favor and use it throughout. I think that's one of the biggest insights that helped me. Um, and it shows off your versatility and understanding of the situation. And I think for architect, that becomes very, very important, is how do you gain that key insight on what's needed right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. And coming back to the focus of GSAS 23 edition, so modern practices in software architecture, how to be more effective, efficient, and enjoy what you do. What else, apart from the topic that you will discuss during your talk, would you like to mention?
I think knowing that this is a very enjoyable job and a job of a lot of privilege and responsibility hopefully frames uh, really nicely what you are as a software architect. With that, I think it's easy to enjoy because you see the fruits of your labor. You see these systems come up. You see them do what you intended them to do. You understand the consequences of the decisions that you're making and the foundations that you're putting in place. I want to make sure that architects know to lift their heads out of their day to day and actually enjoy the results. That to me is key, how to make your job more enjoyable. We tend to go way down in the weeds and get mired in all of the things that we have to do, but there's something out there that you're building and it's worth looking at it once in a while and actually saying, wow, I created that. That's
Mm.
that's amazing.
Yeah, like reflect on that, right? Stop
Mhm.
for a second and say, yeah, that's what I did. That's what like my team did, right?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we say it a lot, right? Like we have like an objective and we work really hard, then we meet this objective and like, okay, what's next? And we don't actually celebrate it. It's like ongoing. So yeah, I think it's important to,
Yeah,
yeah.
and really not just celebrated when it's done and complete, but over time. I've had a couple of experiences where something that I put together ended up working surprisingly well. It always surprises me when things just work without any issues for many years. And it's that kind of a quiet success that I don't think we notice. And those are the most important ones because it means what you did ended up being the right thing for it.
Hmm. And coming back, let's say, to your daily life, um, so what makes you feel motivated and inspired every single day? So what makes you feel, um, yeah, what makes you enjoy your work every single day? So not actually when you launch something, or when you have your product, let's say, like ready, but like the process itself. How do you manage not to feel like that you experience burnout, or like that you feel struggled with, like with a lot of issues that you receive on a daily basis, right? Like how do you manage to stay focused and feel like that's I'm on the right place and I do the right thing, and I just enjoy the way I do it and what I do it.
A couple of things. I actually really enjoy learning the business and
Mhm.
knowing about business problems. I know we defer a lot of this to product teams, but I find myself doing my best work when I have a really deep understanding of the business problem and I can apply different techniques to get to a solution and work with our users, our customers to get to a good solution. So that depth of understanding that gives me joy. And another area where I I derive a lot of satisfaction is from making others my team specifically successful. So
Mhm.
it's not just about what I do myself. It's really what do I how do I facilitate my teams to be successful? And when I see them accomplish something great, that's to me that's enjoyable. And when I see them learn something and make better and better choices and understand problems that they're solving, to me that's really satisfying.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, thank you very much, Sonia, for sharing all your insights and all your experiences with us. We really can't wait to see you in October. And let's stay in touch. I'm pretty sure we will keep receiving a lot of comments and questions over all those months. So I'm pretty sure you will end up in the main stage during the Q&A session for sure.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Okay, thank you very much. See you in
Thank you.
Barcelona.